Record. Okay. All right, cool. So, today we are talking about the ABCs of building your brand. So first and foremost, as a business owner, and then two, especially as a Scentsy consultant, having your own brand is so important because for one, hold on, my daughter, 1 second. Okay. I told her if she's quiet throughout this whole time, then we can go play outside after. So she needs to do her part in that. Okay. So for one, it's like when you think of Nike, you think of the Nike swoosh, right? Like when you think of certain brands that have really built their brand and have done a great job marketing it and all that. Why is it showing that it's on Nikki Floyd? Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. I think that should be good. Okay. All right. So when you think about certain brands, you think of the things that they have done to, market themselves and market their brand. So that's why as a business owner, it's super important to have your branding down. And grow it. And then as a Scentsy consultant, it's super important because there's so many of us and we all represent Scentsy. So it's like, what are you doing specifically to make yourself stand out from the others? I mean, that's the whole purpose in having your own branding, right? So you should be, as a business owner and as a Scentsy consultant, really pushing that and really kind of building whatever it is that speaks to you. That's the most important thing. Something that speaks to you, but something that when your customers see it or people that are following you on social media see it or whoever sees it, they know like, oh, that's Nikki. Oh, that's Andrew. Speaking of, by the way, sorry for you guys that don't know me. Let me introduce myself because I just, as I said my name, realized I didn't even do that. So my name is Nikki Toigo. I am probably one of your guys' like Scentsy cousins is the best way to kind of describe that. I am a director. I live up here in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm super excited to be here today. I know that it's midday for everybody. The sun's shining, so we're going to make this short and sweet. I'm going to talk to you about branding. I'm going to talk to you about why it's important, how to build your brand, things to focus on, and then I'm going to do a little screen share to show you how to do something, actually, like create a marketing piece in Canva, because that's what I like to use the most. So we'll get there. But anyways, all right. So yeah, so having your own brand, that's important. It's important for you to, stand out. That's the biggest thing. It's important for you to stand out. It's important for your customers, and anybody that sees your stuff knows that it's your stuff, and that's how you're going to draw people in. We're in this business of attraction marketing, and when you are true to your brand and you really push it, then you're going to naturally draw people in that like that same kind of stuff too. So it kind of, not only does it set you apart, and not only does it help kind of make you legit in a sense, but also it's going to draw other like-minded people in, because if you are true to your brand that you build, then people that also kind of like that look or like that aesthetic or like that meaning, they're gonna just naturally be drawn in. So there's that. So the A in this ABCs thing is the administrative stuff, because it's not like you just wake up one day and you're like, okay, so this is my brand and this is going to follow me around all the time. And this is, like there's actually work that goes into creating this brand that is you. So you need to think about what kind of things are going to help promote your business. What kind of marketing things do you need to have or create or whatever? For example, the thing is, somebody who owns a fishing and boat store, the things that they're going to do to brand themselves and market themselves are going to be different than what the things that you need, because it's two different kind of entities, right? So you need to think about the places that you go, the people that you talk to, the platforms that you have that you can use, all of those different kind of outlets, you need to like analyze those. So do you drive your kids a lot to, you know, like drop offs and stuff when life was normal and we weren't in quarantine? Or were you always at the car drop off lot, whatever? I don't know what it's called because my kid isn't that old yet, so we don't do that yet. Are you there? Because if so, then you might want to have vinyl on your back window. Like you might want that there so that when people see it, they think of you. And I share this, hold on. I share this because, so for me, I have a Scentsy lanyard and I have a Scentsy like sticker in my car. And the other day I left my keys in the front door of our building where we live, and I didn't even know. And like somebody came and knocked on my door and he came to me and he was like, I just knew that it was you because of all the Scentsy stuff, you know? So it's like, what are you doing to let people know that you're that Scentsy person? And then aside from that, what are you doing to have your own look and feel, your own look and feel, sorry, I just want to make sure. Okay. Your own look and feel outside of that. So like, you know, here's Scentsy, you're a Scentsy consultant, but this is Lisa Benson. Like when you see Lisa, you know, that's her stuff, right? Or Andrew or me or whomever. Like, so you need to actually put in the work. You need to do the research. You need to ask questions, ask other Scentsy consultants what works for them, or even get on Google and just type in best ways to brand myself in MLM or network marketing kind of industry, you know, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that pops up and there's going to be different ideas that you can take, but that's the part that's the work that you have to put in to realize what kind of things do I need to have. You already know that as far as like Happy Mail goes to your customers and opportunity packets and stuff like that, like you already know you need those kind of marketing materials, right? And then what are the other things that you need to just set yourself apart? So just figure out what makes sense as far as the administrative stuff goes and write a list down. Like, okay, so I need these things for Happy Mail. I need these things for join packets. I need these things for just marketing myself like out on the town. And just know, like, kind of get structured so that way you're not in the middle of creating a join package and then you're like, oh crap, like I actually need this, or you know what would look really good in this is if I had that. Like do all this stuff beforehand so that way you can kind of just cross things off the list. And I'm actually going to do that today. When I screen share, I'm going to be crossing one of the things off of my list, and we'll get to that later. But just know the certain things that you're looking for, maybe the gaps that you need to fill, or if you haven't done any of this stuff yet, then know you're starting from scratch. And what are the certain things that you need kind of in each piece of that puzzle to set you apart, right? Okay, so that is kind of the administrative part. It's research, it's asking questions, and it's showing up for stuff like this today, like you are right now. So kudos to you for doing that, and then just kind of push even more, see what else you can find, get on YouTube, look at, and that's the thing too, is sometimes it can just literally take scrolling on social media and seeing what other people are doing, which I'm going to show you guys actually right now, kind of how I build my brand on social media. So I'm going to share my screen because now we're going to get into the branding part. Okay, let me close out of this and open this. So, all right, so this is my Instagram, and I decided a while, well, I've always loved the color coral. It's always just been like my color. It's been like my thing. I love it. So I knew that when I wanted to create like pretty much like a board of colors, you know, like a template that I stick to all the time, I knew that coral was going to be in it. So so it was coral, and then I like kind of like beige, tan, whatever, like vintagey kind of feel is what I like. But then I knew I needed kind of like an accent color in there. So I wanted it to be blue. So I kind of actually just recently decided, now that the seasons are kind of changing, I want during fall and winter to be kind of this more like bold navy royal blue mix kind of color. And then in the spring and summer, I want more of like a teal kind of bluer color. Okay. So, but I'm still sticking to those, like that, you know, that lineup of colors. So here's my Instagram. You can see I have the coral going through here. And like I purposely just kind of string those colors along in pretty much almost everything that I post. Hold on, I think somebody's asking to come in. This is so weird. Sorry if it like made you guys wait to come in. I'm assuming that it did. Is it accepting or what? Okay, there we go. Okay. So I mean, you can see like I choose what pictures I'm going to post on here because this is like my pretty page. And then you can kind of see right here, once we get to like this split right here, I didn't really have much of a whatever. So, I mean, you can really see it. I still knew how I wanted things to look, but I didn't really have like a color palette in mind. And then you can see it just gradually starts building itself up. So there's that. And then, I mean, you look on my Facebook and you can see my featured photos. Well, first of all, my cover photo and then my profile photo. Like you see those colors throughout everything that is mine. And then over here, there's my dinner from last night. It was very good. I'm about to have some leftovers. But you see over here in my featured photos, let me try to zoom in. I have these colors like going throughout it. So now what I did these a long time ago. What I would do now is I would change my fonts because I decided, and we're going to get into this when we get on Canva, but I decided on fonts that I have on my palette, and I would change, you know, this black to blue. But even still, like you can tell right here what I like or what speaks to me. The colors, the fonts, the vintage feel. I love like ripped paper kind of looking stuff. So I do that in almost everything that I create. So you just really have to think of what speaks to you. And that's what's so like fun and exciting about branding, is that everybody's is different and it's all beautiful because it all is your own. It's, you know, to each their own kind of thing. And then here on my YouTube, you see in the background, like the banner photo, that same kind of feel. And then every single, for the most part, I think there's, one in here, which I meant to delete that a while ago because we don't need it anymore. But you can see that every thumbnail photo that I have is that same kind of look. It's vintagey, it's ripped paper, it's the same kind of fonts. So it's just being consistent in your branding. And that's why it's so important for you to find something that really speaks to you, something that you're not going to get tired of looking at, you know, and something that you love, just something that you're drawn to. So what kind of fonts do you like? Do you like big and bubbly? Do you like script kind of fonts? Do you like just Arial, you know, like those kind of simple things? And if you do, that's fine, but make it your own somehow. So for me, which we'll get into when we get on Canva, I like lemon milk font and playlist script. So I always kind of combine those two. So you just really need to, you know, do some research, look and see what other people are doing, what you like, what you don't like. And then just kind of take a look at fonts and whatever and see what speaks to you. It really is just a matter of finding what speaks to you the most. And literally, like I said, something that you're never going to get sick of, because once you, can we have people? I don't think there is anybody in the waiting room. But if you see anybody, Nikki, then yeah, add them. But I don't think that there is. Unless I thought that I just, okay. Why does it keep, okay. Like, why is it doing that? Andrew, can you accept? Will it let you accept? No? Okay, so that's what my social media stuff looks like. And that's kind of what you guys are gonna have to spend some time doing if you haven't already done that yet, is you need to find whoops, you need to find what is going to speak to you, what you're not going to get too sick of, and something that you can run with for a really long time. Because, like I said, you want this to be yours. You want this to be you. Like, so in my designs right now, I use Canva for my Scentsy stuff, but I also use it for my full-time job, marketing for an international lighting company. So in my mix of stuff, it's going to be a lot of different things. Like, this is my TCP stuff and, you know, whatever. But this is Canva for anybody that does not know what this is. Let me stop sharing for a minute. Let me speak about it. Okay, yeah, she's been added. Okay, so Canva. You have a lot of options when it comes to any kind of software that you want to use for your marketing stuff. I like Canva because, for one, I do a lot of Photoshop too. I do marketing full time, and I do graphic design and stuff like that. So I use Photoshop a lot. Canva, in my opinion, is the closest service to Photoshop while making it super simplified. So Photoshop is, first of all, you have to pay for it. Second of all, there's a lot of, work and training that you need to put in to understand how Photoshop works. So I think that Canva is like the best kind of graphic design, user-friendly kind of service. I do have the paid for version, although I hadn't for the longest time and I got by just fine. So you don't have to pay for it, but I suggest that if there's anything that you're going to invest your money in as far as marketing kind of services go, I would say Canva over like any of the others. There's PicMonkey, there's Over that you can do on your phone. I don't like doing stuff on my phone because like it's just small, and I like having things on big screens and like, zooming in and getting things just right. But there's Over, there's PicMonkey, there's Canva. Canva's app on the phone isn't the greatest, but if you're on a desktop, then it is the greatest, I think. So what I'm going to show you guys today is the paid for version. So there may be some things in here that you may not be able to do without having the paid version, but I'm still going to show these things to you guys anyways, because like I said, I do think it's worth the investment. I think it's like $100-ish for a whole year. So if you break it down, it's not that bad. And then I think that they might have a month to month that's like $15 a month, which I just did the full year. So that's up to you. It is a business write-off, but if you're going to invest in any kind of design appy kind of thing, I would suggest Canva, as long as you have a desktop to work on. If you're working on your phone, then I would do Over, but that's another story for another day. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Like I said, today I'm actually going to check off one of the things on my list. I have a thank you. Oh, it's of course not over here right now. I have a thank you. Dang it. Amaya, sorry. I want to show you guys what mine looks like. Actually, you know what? I don't need to. I can just do it on here. So I have a thank you thing that I send out, and it has, like, obviously thank you for your order and blah, blah, blah. And here it is. So I'm going to show you guys on here. But this is one, but I want a second thank you to send out to people that have already gotten this first one. I want it to be like simple and not repetitive, because I've already sent them one kind of thank you. I want just a different one. So that's what I'm going to get started on today with you guys. So let me share once again. And so this right here is Canva. This is where you go in. These are all my designs. So this is like the main page, which we'll get there, but this is the thank you that I told you guys about. So I have thank you for snagging your Scentsy goodies, blah, blah, blah. This is me trying to get them to book a party. This is me trying to connect with them. because I want them to follow me on social media, and I definitely want them in my VIP group because they see everything that I need. That actually just reminded me. I need to choose a winner for my April giveaway. Okay, so over here, for my thank you today, I want it to be, I think, like a square. So, but normally, like for this one, it's postcard size. And this is the really cool thing about Canva is when you go to create a design, you can do custom dimensions, or they already have the sizing here for you. So if you need a certain kind of like banner, cover photo, whatever it is that you need, they already have those sizes for you, which is just like amazing because it takes all the guessing out of it all. So a lot of the times I'll go to postcard and I'll use, like you could see what I recently used. So I love this. Like I said, I love the ripped paper, and then I would go in and I would change things around to make it look like my own. But today I want to do, so you go in here, you do custom dimensions, depending on what it is that you're looking for. I'm going to switch this to inches, not pixels, because this is something that I'm going to print out. So pixels are for digital things, and inches obviously are for print things. So I'm going to go in here, and like I said, I want it to be a square. I'm going to do it 8 by 8 because in Canva, I like to do larger and then shrink it down once I bring it in to print out. That way I know that it's not going to get pixelated and it'll be crisp and clear when I print it. So I'm going to create this. And now the other really cool thing too is Canva will take what you, I don't know why it makes me click this like over, there we go. Canva will take the dimensions that you put in, and then in this like box over here, it will throw together a bunch of templates that match those measurements, which is like super cool. So you can choose something from over here. I am not going to choose anything from over here. I am going to be printing this on my own printer, and I am very cheap. So I do not want something full of color. I want something that's going to have a white background, and it's not going to kill the ink in my printer. So that being said, I know that I pretty much just kind of want this to say thank you, and we'll see what else comes out when we get creative. So let me move this. Okay, so I think over here is where, yeah. Okay, so this is a paid for version, like I said. Not sure what it looks like to those who may not have the paid version, but in Canva, there's something called a brand kit. So I have already set this up. It's really cool because it's like a hub for all of your branding needs. So it has my logos. Okay, this is a white Scentsy one. You just can't see it because it looks just like this one, but it's white. You just can't see it. So these are my logos. I can throw those on easily. Here are my brand colors. Like I said, I like the vintage and coral, and then these are my two different blues. Over here I have my brand fonts. Like I said, I like lemon milk, playlist script, and then this one I have not like actually stuck to that, and I actually think I'm going to change it because I kind of like this font, so we're just going to do that. So then this will, you'll see in a second, this saves into my stuff. So when I want to add fonts or whatever, it's all in one easy place to choose from. So, and then this is TCP. That's the company that I work for full time. I have our color palette in there as well. And you can add more palettes, and you can upload fonts, which is super cool. That's one of the reasons why I love Canva so much, is because there's a lot of customizing that you can do. So if you find a font that you like, but Canva doesn't have it, you can upload the font right there. Okay. This is all in your brand kit. So now back over here. I know what I want things to look like, but let's say you're just starting off and you're just now giving this branding thing a try and this graphic design thing a shot, like a first shot, right? There are all these different kind of things that you can, templates that you can choose from that all look super cute. You know, you find one that you love and you don't have to worry about placing things around and all that. Like, it's already done for you. So that's pretty freaking cool, and another reason why I love Canva so much, okay? So I know I want this to say thank you. So I just clicked over here. Sorry if I go fast. If so, just let me know in the chat, like slow down, chick, and I'll slow down, okay? So these lines that show up are letting you know that this is center. So to stop right there if you want it to be center. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think we'll see once I get the rest done. But, and then this, if there's something like that you wanna stay inside of, like a frame or whatever, then you just kind of pay attention to those lines that pop up for you. They're kind of like grids that they snap for you. And then here, so this is all right here because this is what I did in my brand kit, remember? So everything that I have as far as fonts go are gonna pop up right here. And then you're gonna see that the same thing happens for color because of the color palettes that I set up. So actually, I think I want this. And then, like I said, I didn't know if that was gonna stay like that, and it's not going to. So now I'm going to come in here, click on the text that I just created, come in here to text color, and you're gonna see it already has my palettes right there. And this is giving me the crown, so I am assuming that this is something that's only part of the paid. If you don't have the brand kit, the text options are the same, but you have to go in and create and choose your own font. Okay, right, so there you go. It's nice to have that convenience, but if you don't have the paid for version, then you can just select the fonts in there, okay? So I want this to, I don't know, because I think I want to do that. And then this one I want to be like this. So another cool thing is, so I'm selecting this right now and then I'm just copying and pasting it. So why I'm doing this is because I want it to be layered, I think. There's a lot of playing around that like you have to take into consideration when you're creating things. So I just kind of want like a really subtle layered look, and I'm zooming in a lot because if you're not zoomed in, sometimes it doesn't, like, look, see, it's snapping into the, like, it's snapping into the grid. So unless I want it there or there, then if you zoom in, you can get it as close as you want. So that's a little pro tip right there. Okay. And then I want to do the same thing here. I already don't really love how that's looking, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it. We'll see. I might change one of those colors in there, but I'm just going to copy and paste the U as well, and then I'm going to pull that same color. And I want this U to be in front of these things. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click position, and I'm going to bring it to the front, okay? And now I need to do the same thing with this one because it's showing up as going behind those. So it's just, why is this not working? Hold on. That's a problem. Hold on now. There we go. Okay, to front. So once again, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to get it like real close. And then boom, there's that. Like I said, I don't love that look, so I will probably change that. But for time's sake, we're just going to roll with it. So, all right, so thank you. I would really like to add some kind of like pretty flower maybe. So I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to type in just that, like a vintage flower, and see what pops up. That's cute. In my head, I have a flower that's like standing up, not laying down. So maybe I need to get a little bit more specific and do like, ooh, okay, well, and then I see a sunflower and it's like I have to do it. So Canva just recently created this new effect that you can use. And so you click on the photo and you click on effects, and there's this thing called background remover. So hopefully it's able to do this. There's a lot of green in here, so it might be a little, yeah, see, so because of all the green that was in it, it didn't separate it enough. You know, it wasn't distinguished enough to clear. But anyways, this does clear backgrounds. And so because of that, I'm not going to use that one because I want it to be like a flower with a stem. But that is a feature that Canva offers, and it's another reason why I love it so much, because even in Photoshop, clearing backgrounds is not an easy task. And Canva just kind of like really took the cake with that one and made life a whole lot easier. So let's just do sunflower profile view. I don't know. Okay. Right, so there's that. Now I'm going to go back in here. I know I said that we weren't going to do this right now because of time's sake, but I just can't help it. It's just like the OCD and designer in me that just has to fix this because I want you guys to see like an end result. Okay, so this sunflower is right here, and I love puns, so I'm probably going to think of something that goes with, oh, all right. So right now, sorry, I know I'm kind of like all over the place, but this is just how my mind works. This is how my creative brain works, and it's really difficult for me to like get my words out there while I'm doing this. This is kind of one of the first times that I'm actually doing an in-depth like graphic design training. So anyways, I decided that this is too low. I want to move all of this text up. So I'm going to I'm clicking right here underneath it all, and then I'm holding down my mouse, and all right, so it's starting to grab that, so I'm moving this other way. I'm clicking down here, and I'm dragging my mouse to cover all of this, everything that I want to move, okay? And then it's going to move it all up together, and then here's that pink line again, letting me know that this is centered, and we're going to do that. Okay, so now this flower for me doesn't look vintagey enough, so I'm going to go into filters, and I'm just going to kind of see, okay, well now it's giving me that background, but it's okay, I can clear it. So what looks vintagey enough to me to fit? Ooh, I kind of like that. And a lot of this is just playing around. You're going to have to give yourself some time to, oh, I like that one. You're going to have to give yourself some time to play around and see what works and see what doesn't. There's been plenty of designs that I've created that I just abandoned. You know, I mean, it just happens. But so then over here is intensity on this filter, so I can see how intense I want the filter to be. So I think that a good 25 works. I'm going to go back into effects, and I'm going to do the background remover because I don't want any kind of background on this flower. So it's going to do its little thing, and there we go. There's no background. So I don't really like how it's facing the left, but I also don't want to bring it over here because I don't think it works. So what I'm going to do is click it and just hit flip. And then I'm going to do horizontal because I don't want to flip it upside down. So now it's kind of like that. And then maybe, do I want to kind of, this is another thing too, if you are not wanting to make the image smaller, but instead you're just kind of wanting to crop it, these little bars right here, you just grab and you just kind of close in on it. I do that sometimes because, you know, if this did have a background and it was interfering with something that I had going on over here, then I would want to like crop it as close as possible to, you know, keep that from happening. And I think that I kind of just like it straight. So I still don't like this color. And now it's making me second guess if I even want to use that teal ever again. I just now added it to my palette. So I think I like it, just not like really boldly or something. I don't know. See, I like that. I might just stick to my navy blue. And like I said, I literally can't stress it enough. This is a continuous thing. Like this is, think of this as like clay that you have that is never going to dry. Like you're constantly molding it into whatever it is that you want. Like I said, whatever it is that speaks to you, then that's what you roll with. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that is giving this to people and you want to be pleased with your results. So, all right, so there's that. Let's see what else. So on my other thank you, which is not this, I have what information? I have the connect stuff. I have my socials in there, but I think honestly, I'm not even going to do any of that stuff. I think I'm just going to keep it really, really simple. And for the sake of wanting to show you guys different things that we can do on here, I'm going to kind of like run through these. So elements, let's say I wanted to, I'm just going to kind of make this small and move it out of the way. Okay. Just for now. Let's say though that I wanted to put a picture in there. So under elements, there are all of these different things that you can work with. There are grids if you want to add multiple photos. There are shapes. There are frames, which is what I'm going to use right here. Stickers, charts, gradients, lines, a bunch of stuff. They have so much stuff, and I'm just now seeing this bold foliage thing, and I'm probably going to have to play with that later. I'm just trying really hard not to click on it right now. Okay, so frames. I'm going to click in. I'm going to see all. What kind of look do I want to use? I typically like these kind of, like I said, ripped and vintagey kind of things. So I typically use those. And that's probably what I'll do again today. So let's just, I like to use photos of myself in a lot of my branding things because it's important for people to put a face with a name. A lot of our business is online and not everybody knows, you know, not everybody knows what you look like. We get a lot of Scentsy.com orders. They don't know what you look like. And sometimes people just like seeing you. They're like, oh, this is really a person, and it makes them connect to you better. So I have my frame here. I'm going to go to uploads. I apologize ahead of time. I don't really know what's in here. Shouldn't be anything too crazy, but you can upload anything that you want as far as images go into here. So this is once again going to be a mixture of my Scentsy stuff and my Scentsy girls and then TCP stuff, okay, because I do the marketing for both. So I'm going to find a picture of me and my daughter that I want to use on here. Let's do this one. So now I have my photo in here. I just dropped it in. I already uploaded it, and I'm just going to put it over here, like over my frame, and Canva will put it in for you. So now I already see that this is not the right kind of photo because it crops us out. But I still wanted to show you guys how this works. Okay, it's like super simple, like so simple. This is not something that's easily done on Photoshop at all. So this is a really great feature that Canva has. And like I showed earlier, there are so many different kinds of things to choose from. So let's say I wanted to do something for social media on here, and I wanted to say that I had some kind of social media giveaway going on or whatever. Then I could literally use this screen and then, I mean, let's say I already had that graphic created that said, you know, stay tuned for a giveaway or whatever, which I don't. But so instead, I'm going to go in here, back into photos, and I'm going to type in just like computer screen, and we'll see what pulls up. No, I don't want that. all right, computer wallpaper. All right, so here it says blog. Let's say we're talking about a blog. So I'm gonna pull this in, and then I'm just gonna grab it and I'm gonna hold it right over, and it just drops it in for me. So now it looks like that's on the computer screen. So it's just really cool. It's like a really, really cool feature that Canva has. And then let's say I didn't like that photo, I just click delete right here, but it still kept my frame. And so then you can choose something else, and just drop it right in, and it just does that. It looks like so cool. So you can click delete once and it'll delete the photo, click delete twice and it'll delete the frame too, okay? So backgrounds is also something that's super cool and easy. Right here, you'll see my palettes again. So it makes it very simple for me to pull any of these colors that I might want. But from there, there's also landscapes, patterns, gradients, abstract, food, so many different things to choose from. I'm gonna go to the flowers because I am a flower lover. And I just clicked that one and it just dropped it in. And I actually literally might use that, and instead of all that work that I just did with the sunflower, whatever, you know, like I kind of really like how that looks. So let's say I am almost done and I'm like, you know, I really wish I didn't delete that sunflower. There's the undo button right here. So there's my guy, and I can just bring him back. And then I'm like, oh no, I really don't like him. So then I'm going to redo that. And, you know, so there's a lot of different tools within this one system of awesomeness. I'm trying to think of what else you guys might want to be sure to. Will you also show to pull color for text from the background? Okay, so let's say that you have a picture in here, like I do, and you want this font to be the same, you want it to match better. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna click color, and it's not pulling up in here, dang it. So hold on, let me choose a different picture. Andrew, I don't know if I know exactly what you're talking about. So I'm gonna do this and you let me know. All right, so I have this photo in here. Let's say I want this thank to be this orange that's in this photo. So I'm gonna click on here, I'm gonna click the text color, and it right here has all of the colors that are in this photo right here. It has all those right here. So I was trying to just do that with this background, but it didn't pop up for me, and I think that that's because it was a background. So Andrew, now I want to know what you were talking about. Let me, I just unmuted you.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
And also, guys, if you kind of like with my branding, if you upload a photo of yourself, so Nikki, go and upload a photo of yourself. Like pull a picture of yourself up, like the one of you in the Maya there. Okay, so then click on the text itself, like one of the text, and then the color. You will be able to pick the colors from the actual photo. So how I created all of my branding, my personal branding, was a picture of myself, and I pulled all of my color palette from the photo itself. So that way everything flows together with my same photo. So if I ever want to change my photo, I'm probably going to have to go in and change my color palette, but that's a really easy way if you do not have the paid for version of this to always get your colors the same instead of having to buy it to get the branding kit. This will create it for you. This is what I've done before I bought the actual pro version.
So the photo that you have looks like what? A palette of colors?
No, it's just
It's a photo of you.
It's a photo of me with a red shirt and a jean jacket. So my branding is
right, you have that red and blue in your.
I have red and blue everywhere. Yeah, and I pulled the red and blue specifically from the photo. And then the tans that I have are from my skin tone. So that way everything matches together. So my picture doesn't look completely out of place. It all blends.
Yeah, so and like I said, guys, this is the paid for version. So I really apologize if there's things that I'm showing that you know, you just don't have if you're not paying for it. But I really do. Even before I paid for this, I was always a firm believer that Canva was like it was the go-to. I
It's
think
the
that,
greatest.
yeah, I think that PicMonkey is decent, but sorry, I'm trying.
I can't hear you.
Whoops. Okay, I just muted myself on accident. I think that PicMonkey is decent, but I just love Canva. I mean, all of these features are amazing. So, I really think that I think I'm going to keep this. Andrew, do you think it looks good?
I do.
Photo?
Yes.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
think it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I love the blue on the green at the bottom. Yeah, I think it's
Mhm.
very, very good.
Yeah, I like it. So, ugh, my computer's freezing. Sorry, guys. Damn it. All right.
And so, guys, the reason that the blue works with the green, I'm getting very, very in detail, is because they're complete opposites, but they contrast together, which makes the think stand out against the blue or the green at the bottom. So, like, if she would have put green at the top, it would have matched way too well. I hope that makes sense to everybody.
And it's all like artsy stuff. And honestly, like, let's say that you don't use Canva. Thanks for staying this whole time and watching. But let's say you don't use it. Let's say you use something else. Literally, guys, go to YouTube and type in whatever it is that you use, 101 or for beginners or whatever, and it will walk you. I mean, there's so many different resources to teach you all of these things. I'm gonna try to wrap up soon because it's almost 3. You guys have been on here for an hour, and the sun's out over here at least, and I'm assuming it's out where you are. So I want us to all enjoy the rest of the day. But what I'm going to do right here is just kind of put my name, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to put my name and, you know, my website and my phone number, and I'm going to call it a day. So I just clicked on the text. Or maybe I'll put, I hope you, I don't know, Andrew, what would you put text-wise? I hope you love your, Mamba Stop. I hope you love your goodies.
I know you're gonna love your goodies, is what I always say.
My computer's going real slow. I can hear my battery running like loud. So wowzers. I don't know what's going on, guys. I think my I think my computer's like taking a crap. I literally don't know what it just did. So I think that that's our cue to come on.
We went too hard.
Yeah, I know. We just partied really hard, guys. So, all right. Well, you know, we'll just leave it at that. And even just that is super pretty, super simple. Even if literally, if I just wanted to do that, I could. And then I would print it out. I would print out a bunch on one page, and I would cut them in my paper cutter that I don't have near here. I'm going to take this off because I want to show you guys something real quick too. And I would put a little note on the back and drop it in the orders. So last thing is that I just really want to be sure to touch on is to choose what speaks to you. Choose what makes you, like, you and your heart happy when you see it. Like when you see that, it feels like home, whatever that is. Colors, all of those things, style, all that. If you like farmhouse, run with that. You like boho, run with that. If you like bold, run with that, or skinny, or whatever fonts, you know, whatever. Just run with that. And I actually just found these stickers the other day on Amazon, and I didn't need to be spending the money, but I had to buy them because they're literally like perfect for me. They're my colors. So that's the last thing that I want to touch on is once you decide what it is, this look that you want and this feel that you want, once you decide, keep an eye out for things. You know, when you're at the store or when you're wherever, just keep an eye out, because you can never have too much stuff as when it comes to like your branding. You know, you can never slap your brand on too many things. So pick those things up, always have an eye out for whatever matches your style. And that's kind of it, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, well, I'll just enjoy the rest of our, oh wait, there's actually, I did want to speak to this thing that you sent, Andrew. So you guys are getting your 30 days of posts. And I know that some things on here are about smelly mail and what are you doing today in your personal life, or what are you doing today in your work life, or whatever. Show people that you are creating, like, show people the behind the scenes stuff. Show people that you're working on your branding and that, you know, this is what you're doing or whatever. Show those things. And then with your smelly mail, like, when you're doing that task for these 30 days, when you're on that task, start thinking when you're putting your happy mail together, what other things can I create? What can I go on Canva and create, or whatever service you use? What other things can I create to make this more Nikki or Andrew or Lisa or whoever, you know, like what can I add to this to really push my brand? So for example, I have this paper confetti stuff that I love. And so I put these things in my happy mail because they match everything that I have in there. So just like little things. And once again, that's just keeping an eye out for things that I've come across when I've been, you know, retail therapy shopping all the time since the quarantine started. So just like piece by piece, you know, you just put it together and you figure it out. If you ever have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me. This is like my thing. This is what I love. That's why I do it full time as well. Because it's just so much fun. And then it makes things look really nice in the end. It's a good way to bring all of your stuff together. It's a good way to like collectively showcase who you are, if that makes sense. I know I got real artsy and creative-y in this, so I apologize because sometimes I don't like articulate well through that because it's just, I'm very right-brained. I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not like, so all that like talking kind of stuff like just gets turned off and I just get real like in the zone, and it's just like the creative part of me. But so I ask you then to like tap into your creative side of your brain and just run with it and see what you like and what you don't like, and then work with what you do. So I'm going to hand it over to Andrew to wrap things up. And I'm going to stop recording.